Remember to put your phone on Do Not Disturb when you're recording your vlog video. Anyway, I was getting ready for my swim lessons, and I had just seen that Michael Jackson. And so I was at that, get to that age of, independence where you can go dress yourself, pick out your own clothes. And I'm going to swim lessons. So what should you wear? Swim trunks and a t-shirt. But my happy behind went in there, got some dress slacks, some church shoes, some white socks, collar shirt, dress shirt, and I found this little, like a scuba diver helmet thing, ornament, whatever, and I hooked it on my shoulder. I had a hook on my shoulder, my shirt. And I was like doing Michael Jackson moves in my room. And I was like, all right, Daddy, I'm ready. He was like, for what? Go swimming. Why you put on all those clothes? You said get ready. So Michael Jackson, that formative, is my point. Been very frustrated at the lack of continual open slots of time for myself. All work and no play makes fresh a little stale. And 3 attempts last night, one of which I will post. And the daughter just does not want to stay asleep. And it's all good. I've been there. I know what it's like to toss and turn, so I understand. Empathy makes us. It makes us, right? As humans, living in a society with other humans, you've got to be empathetic. And I think that, raising 2 kids, becoming a father, Western American, United States, whatever society, won't necessarily have an exact specific rites of passage into adulthood manhood. This gets talked about a lot, right? Specifically, the culture that I identify with. We don't have anything. We don't, like the Jewish culture has bat mitzvah, right? You become a man. Think about tribal cultures. You go out on a very dangerous adventure, mission, quest. You come back, licking your wounds, but you're a man now, right? What do we have here? We graduate high school, get a diploma, a worthless piece of paper, or you graduate college, or you get married, or you get your own place, or you're financially. What is it? What's the marker? Oh, now you can go off and fight for your country and die. Oh, now you can buy alcohol, inebriants. What is it? So for me, nothing was really cemented in my own mind until now I'm responsible for another life. And as what I like to call a pessimistic realist, not much optimism up here. Having kids changed. That was the pivot. It's like, well, now I have a very real and vested interest in the future. And I have to be optimistic because I'm raising children that are going to live and exist in this world. So you gotta be the change, make that change. Like Mike was saying, the man in the mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Ooh. Good grief. I remember for sure exactly where I was when I heard the news that he had passed. And I remember exactly what I did for the next 8 hours. I remember exactly what I was watching, exactly what the commercials was, exactly what other music was out. It's just time-stamped in my brain. But how do you teach empathy? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying to. I heard something last night. It was this dude. He looked like, oh man, I'm gonna mess it up. Gabor something. Very monotone, soft-spoken dude, black curly hair. I don't really know much about him. I'm sure if I knew his book or his work, I'd be able to recall it. But he was talking about parenthood, and he was saying, you know, your main job is to provide happiness for your children until they're about 3. And then if you do your job, I'm oversimplifying this, of course. If you do your job as a parent, by then, you know, it's the foundation is cemented, and this is me taking over saying my opinion is just lead by example and have a good life, and they will pick up on it. I consider myself to be a product of an overprotective, you know, what's the term when you have that type of a parent that wants to just keep you in a bubble, right? Overprotect you and keep you from the world. And I think that children either become, you know, carbon copies of their parents, or they become the exact opposite of their parents. Oversimplifying again. But I sort of take the approach of you arm your children with the tools and the awareness to survive in the world, as opposed to protect them from the world. But my oldest is 3. You know, he's just now. And I heard somewhere else, maybe it was Jordan Peterson, he was saying, you know, your job is pretty much until they're 4. And again, it's oversimplifying. It's not like your job as a parent is done. It's never done. And parents of millennials, it seems like they go off to college, if you're lucky. You come back with not too much debt, if you're lucky, but they come back home. You know, me, year 2018, college, I'm out. I'm gone. See ya. Peace. No looking back. There was no way I would have been homeless before I moved back home. Not a chance. But that's a deeper dive story for another day. But I really feel that another thing that this gentleman, I'm going to call him Gabor, I hope this is right. He was talking about, what are these parents doing, this whole cry it out method? You let your child cry in the crib until they cry themselves to sleep? What is this? So you're basically teaching them, because they don't know your language, they don't know English, you're teaching them that their emotions don't matter? What kind of message is that? And this whole argument about, you know, co-sleeping, do you have the kids in the bed with you, or do you force them to stay in their room, you know, boundaries, all that stuff. I never took any parenting classes. I took half a psychology class. So the things that I'm telling you is what feels right to me and what has been my experience and what I have observed. I'm putting all that together, and I'm coming up with what I feel is the blueprint. Am I perfect? Heck no. Make mistakes every day. But I feel like the vibe. So when he says provide happiness for your children until they're 3 and they will be stable, secure, you know, they will have the best chance at having a successful, by successful I mean ultimately fulfilled life, is by providing that happiness. You know, make sure the vibe is right, it's harmonious. There's a few things in my mind that I have to figure out, like some things that are contradictory, you know, like I want to raise, you know, you want your kids to obey you for the sake of safety and for the sake of just authority and the natural hierarchy, I would think. But at the same time, you want to raise free thinkers that question authority, like I did, like I do. I don't want to raise no, you know, son and daughter that just, okay, I'm gonna do that, okay, and just fall in line. That's no good. Where's the balance there? I don't know. That's a tightrope that I walk every day. And one of my good friends said, because he's ahead of me, he's got 3 now, and I think after he had his first, before my first was born, he was saying, it's the coolest thing you'll ever do. You know, it's the most amazing thing as a human. You can have a career, you can have accomplishments, you can have intellectual property, you can have material things, financial wealth, but to contribute to the creation of life and then nurture that life, ooh-wee. I feel very maternal. Like, the stereotypical doting mother that provides the hugs, the kisses, the cuddles, the I love yous, the hands-on touchy-feely stuff, and then the dad is there to toughen you up and, come here, boy, or wrestle and all that type stuff. I don't know. We don't really have those very strict, rigid gender roles in our house, and I don't know. I for sure thought that it was a mistake. It was dumb. It was irresponsible to bring children into this world at this stage, at this time. That's what younger me thought. Stand-up comic Theo Vaughn. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Y'all gotta go watch his stand-up. Dude is brilliant. That has nothing to do with the bit that I was thinking of, because I was thinking of Nate Bargatze. I don't know why. They're both Southern gentlemen with a twang, if you will. But he said, when you ask people, adults, what's the happiest time of your life? They always say either before they had kids or after their kids moved out the house. And I'm not doing justice to this bit, but go check out Nate Bargatze. I think he has a special on Netflix and or YouTube. But he's talking about teenage moms and how there was a whole show about teenage moms, 16 and pregnant or whatever. And society, I guess, would judge them. Modern society would say, oh, you should have waited, that's irresponsible. And then you also have this wave of, career-minded women that wait till later in life to have kids, by choice or by circumstance or whatever. It just seems to be more common. And that's a big difference. A teenage mom versus a mom that's like around late 30s, 40-ish. So think about where you'll be when they are, how old are you when your kids are graduating? Are people going to be like, is that your grandkid or your kid or your sibling? Like, I don't know. But I don't know. I guess everything happens in its own time, in its own perfect timing, and just trying to get it right. I think there was an interview. Who was it? It was Dr. Oz and it was Gary Vee, and they was talking about parenting, and this was so profound to me. It hit me right in the And I said, everything that you give to your child is also something that you're taking away from them. Ooh, let that sink in. So, as an example, you're very wealthy. Millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. You can provide whatever life you desire for your children. And they want for nothing. They may have amazing manners and be very polished and be a socialite and have all of this worldly experience, right? But are they going to have the grit, the toughness, the constitution to make it through tough times? Maybe ill-equipped. On the other hand, you raise them in a poverty-stricken environment where it's kind of like fend for yourself. You better start working as soon as you can, ride your bike type of thing. Well, you're probably going to have a very tough, independent child that you raised, but they may not be so polished, right? So that's just a very obvious foil comparison, but that goes for every stinking little thing, indoor experiences, outdoor experiences, solo experiences, social experiences. Everything has a dichotomy to it. So when you make choices for your children, you are taking something away. And that is something that you have to come to grips with. And when you think about your parents and the experience that you had when you were raised, you think, oh, the grass is greener, I wish they didn't do this, I wish they didn't do that. But you got something. And there's something that you didn't get. And they made that choice. Now you have to make that choice. It's 50-50. I have a thought, I have an idea that we all do equal parts harm and good to our kids. It's something to think about, food for thought. Be back tomorrow, fresh vlog, canatonic.co. Fresh 2020 is a code. Get you some.